Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about withdrawal symptoms. When people are starting to heal from their traumatic bonding, their trauma bonds, they go through a pretty horrible withdrawal period, and that is mandatory. I want to talk about this. I want to give you a piece of information that may change the game for you. So watch this video. Everybody, welcome to my channel. If you're new, please click the little subscribe button, the bell to receive notifications when we release new videos. And if you've been with me for a while, thank you so much and welcome back. Today, I want to dive into this topic. I teach this class called Inner Work 2. Inner Work 2 is all about abandonment wounds and trauma bonds, right? It's an 8-week course and we dive deep. And one of the things that a lot of people are really excited about when they hear this in the class is that trauma bonds and withdrawal symptoms are chemical. It's not your fault that you're still ruminating, that you can't get over it, that all your thoughts are on this person. You have to understand that the behaviors we have to put in place need to be different, but the source of the behavior is going to be counterintuitive. Your intuition as you're healing from a trauma bond is not your real intuition. It's actually the coping mechanism. So your intuition is to reach out to this person to stop the pain because what you're craving is connection. The biggest issue in trauma bonds is disconnect and abandonment. So when we feel disconnected from this person, we don't feel like they're loving us, we're not sure of how we stand with them, we're basically wanting to go, it's like Stockholm Syndrome, we're wanting to go to the person that created the pain to ease the pain. Because when we were children in our original trauma bond, which most people also don't know this, is your original parent, your caretaker, your original trauma bond, you had to be loved and supported from the person that was hurting you if it was in your home. So this is what we're doing. We're still going to that parental person who's now our partner to soothe us because we never learned how to self-soothe. Soothe us, connect with us so we can get rid of the pain, but that's band-aiding it. It's going to continue, right? That's prolonging the issue. So what we ultimately end up doing, I can say with the clients I've seen over the last almost 11 years, have ultimately had to cut off contact to be able to fully do this, right? There are stages. But when you are cutting off contact and you are going through those withdrawals and you're so tempted to just pick up the phone because you know that that's what will heal your wound, it's not what's going to heal your wound. It's what's going to band-aid the wound. And what you have to understand, you are going to go through withdrawals. It is a chemical reaction. The dopamine hit is so heavy when you're in a trauma bond, and I'll explain that again. When we're in our first trauma bond, when we're children, we don't have the love bombing phase, so people get freaked out about it. They don't understand. But what we do have is an inconsistent parent that makes us earn love. We leave ourselves to please them so we can feel taken care of, so we can feel supported, so we can feel that they're okay, so I'm okay, right? As we get older, we get trauma bonded by the person that love bombs us. Now, why does that work? Because we're so depleted of love that we think, oh my gosh, this is real love. This person came here to save me from my shitty childhood. They love bomb me. I must give them my all before I even know who they are. I must trust them before I even know their emotional patterns. I want to be all in because this love bombing is something I've never experienced and it's saving me from my childhood wounds. Correct. And you know it's true because you can only be in a trauma bond with someone else who's also wounded. So it's a match. You guys falsely fill each other's holes with each other, but you're filling each other with someone who's not whole. And so it ultimately ends up that this person will wound you the most by bringing up the original wound so that you can finally be all in on yourself and be what you've always needed and learn to love yourself. And part of this means that you're going to be love bombed. You're going to be devalued. You're going to try harder for the love. Earning love. Sound familiar? The chemicals, they come back. Then the person devalues you, you go quicker because now it's a higher high and a lower low. Now you have this love bomb and then this depletion, so now you'll do anything to get the hit. You start losing yourself more and more over time because you have to actually cater to them to get their love more and more over time. The stake always changes because it can't be consistent because it has to be a trauma bond, right? So now you're in the devaluation phase where you're leaving yourself and you're constantly trying to please that person to get that love hit again. And then one day they just discard. Now that feels like death to you. You feel like you can't breathe and the only thing you can think about doing is reconnecting. But what I'm going to tell you is you're going to go through hell for a while. You're going to die to that old patterned way. And it's not fun. And I do suggest having support. I do suggest not doing withdrawal by yourself. But what you're going to do during withdrawal is you're going to notice that your brain chemistry is not going to be at a good place. You are withdrawing off of high levels of dopamine, and you are starving for those positive chemicals in your brain. It is chemical. It's not you. And so as those chemicals start to drain out of your body and lower and lower and lower, you're looking for anything to fill it. Drinking, shopping, new love, workaholism, whatever it is. And what I'm going to say is, notice what you're doing. Try your best to not do it as often. Try your best to forgive yourself for going that route, but work on putting yourself first instead. Worry about, instead of filling that void with something external again other than you is the issue. I had a client tell me the other day, Candace, I'm really bored of my self-care. I can't do it anymore. I go, great. The boredom is what's in the way. Why are you bored? And she sat there and she goes, oh my God, it's like this counterintuitive thing to go external again. This is boring. Moving on. This is boring. I said, great. Your homework assignment is to sit in the boredom and do it anyway. And she was like, God, I hate love you, right? So this is the thing. More self-care, more self-care, more self-care. Well, Candace, when I focus on myself, it hurts. Great. Be there for yourself. Support yourself. Call a friend. Get a support group. Go to my truth room. Do these things. They are available to you. What you'll notice is over time, it's going to take time. It's going to take 3 months. It may take 6 months to finally get to the place where you're learning to fill yourself, with spiritual truths, with higher sources. Why? Because part of you is resisting that. That's why it takes a lot of time. You're resisting that because you really just want that mother-father hit from the partner to be what you need. But what you're learning during this process and not really understanding yet is that inner child need is being matured. You're starting to become the parent you never got. So you don't have to look to a parent that will never give you what you need anyway, like partner, right? Your partner is an extension of your parent. It's the exact blueprint. So that person that you think, oh my gosh, I'm finally going to get it from, you never will. And when you really admit that, you know that, you've been back and forth with this person and in these cycles so much, you know it's not going to happen. It's not because of you. It's because of your brain chemistry. So what we need to undo the brain chemistry is by taking a lot of time away from this person. Start to then take time away from the thoughts. When you can understand that this person is just filling that chemical need, you can start to put up with the pain a little bit longer. When you start to be no contact for long enough and you start loving yourself more than they ever could, your brain starts to regulate and the chemistry starts to change. And that's when you're healing. That is when new people who are healthy won't feel boring. That is when new people start entering your life that seems stable. That is when you'll stop looking for those really exciting adventures to get your mind off things, those really stimulating things that are usually pretty toxic. You're going to notice the toxicity and say, I deserve better. So if you guys are looking for deep dive into this, please check out Inner Work 2. It's going to start in February. Also, if you just want a support group, please join my truth room. We show up for each other every single Friday for at least an hour. We do group healings and group coaching. Other than that, please check out my Instagram every day for new reels. I love you guys. Please share this with at least one person you think it could help, and I will see you soon.